Don't forget to tell me what's happening where you live on the email john.cuthill@bbc.co.uk. Now, they say moving house is as stressful as it gets. Don't believe a word of it. Moving sharks in a lorry from Weymouth to Windsor is as bad as it gets. You have to be as cool as a sea cucumber. This ambitious project has been 2 years in the planning. The aim is to fill this massive aquarium with over 50 species of shark, ray and tropical fish, all of which are coming from Weymouth. The man in charge of welcoming the new arrivals to the aquarium will be Ian Grieve.
So what we're doing here, we're just checking all of the levels to make sure that when the fish come there's enough water so we can dilute all the water from the truck into the aquarium. Everything looks okay, so yeah, we're good to go for the fish transport.
Meanwhile, in Weymouth, where some of the fish have been bred, preparations for the move are underway. It's Chris Brown's job to make sure all the sharks are ready and fit for travel. Is there a risk moving them?
There's always a risk moving animals. It's certainly the most stressful time for them, and that's something we've had years and years of experience over, and we really know how to reduce the stress levels to the animals.
I'm slightly nervous because this lot haven't been fed for a while, have they?
Yeah, they haven't been fed for 3 days, and this is very, very important, because if you move an animal once they've just been fed, they might vomit into the tank or they might produce waste, so the water would get dirty, basically,
right.
And this would start to affect the animal, and that's what we've got to avoid at all costs.
Altogether, they'll be moving over 250 fish tomorrow, including a dozen sharks and 25 stingrays. Because it's all about timing, isn't it? Once the clock starts ticking, that's it.
Once we move the very first fish into its transport bag or transport container, for that animal now it's a race against time to get it to the aquarium as quickly as possible.
It is 5:05 a.m. The trucks are here. The clock has started to tick. The sharks are about to be moved. The team is split into two, with one half having to pack over 200 of the smaller fish, and the others are moving the rays and the sharks. So how's it going? Is it going all right?
Yeah, it's going well. I'm getting very wet, which is normal.
Lots of pressure. We don't want to be the ones letting the side down, so pack like madmen for the next couple of hours and off they go.
It's essential that everybody keeps to time so the fish don't stay too long in the transport tanks.
All right? Just watch your footing, yeah? These are the ones with the stings, so we've just got to be very careful of where the stings are. That's why we're using quite long-handled nets.
The team has kept to their timing, and the fully loaded truck is leaving at 9 o'clock.
On the road again.
Ethically, I strongly disagree with animal circuses and that side of things. And I certainly wouldn't have any of our animals performing tricks. That's completely the opposite way to the way we want to go. You've got to remember that lots of people don't ever get the chance to travel abroad or to go scuba diving to see some of these wonderful creatures and to see what's underwater. And we're actually bringing that to the UK, to Windsor, so that the children can actually experience that.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Hoping for some nice kind of energised cow-nose rays swimming around kind of slowly, but all round together as a shoal. There we go. Perfect. Very happy so far.
That's better than John.
We're just going to try and send him off out into the main body of the tank so he's got lots of space to swim around and just to slowly orientate himself.
So as the rays are introduced, you're watching their behaviour just to make sure everything's good. What are you looking for?
Well, it's very important when we move them from the lorry to the tank. That's their kind of most stress point. And so at this point, we just hold them still so they've just got a chance to get used to their surroundings but be in the safe confines of the net. Once they've calmed down enough and they're just breathing a little bit slower, we release them, but we want to release them so they go straight into the main body of the tank.
And how long do you think before they're really comfortable in their new surroundings?
I mean, the ideal thing to tell you is really when they start feeding. That's when they're truly happy in their home and they feel relaxed enough to actually go on the feed and start eating. So I'd expect that to take 2 or 3 days, really.
Lovely. So we're kind of halfway through the unloading now. Rays and sharks and smaller fish have all gone into the tank, and it's just making sure that they're happy in their new environment. This is it then, Chris?
Yeah, I'll be very excited to see this one swim off into its new home.
Final one?
This is the final one.
The fact that they are feeding so early, does that mean that they're quite settled?
Yeah, it means they're relaxed enough to feed, which is fantastic news. So sometimes they won't feed for 3 or 4 days after a transport, but this just shows that they've actually settled in straight away, which is, you know, just the kind of news I want to hear really right now.
It's a perfect end for you.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic day.
And I bet they all taste delicious with chips. That's it for tonight. I'll see you next week.